I'm Howie Spira, and I'm back. You remember me as the publicist for New York Yankees outfielder Dave Winfield and the guy who got the owner of the New York Yankees, George Steinbrenner, thrown out of baseball. Well, that was in the past. Now we deal with the present and the future. Hard-hitting sports. Someone who's going to tell you how it happens, why it happens. Not worried about lawsuits and bullshit and what this one's going to think and what this one's going to think. I'm going to tell you how it is and why it is and my honest feelings on it. And you're going to enjoy it because it's a sports show like none other. Welcome to the Howie Spira Show. Let's roll it. I could talk to my producer who calls me Spira. I mean, you don't even know my name. That's pretty sad. But the name of the show is the Howie Spira Show, and he refers to me as Howie Spira. Do you see anything wrong with that? Fucking moron. Listen, you get what you pay for. Right. And now, everything is tweet and twit and this and that. My people are making me tweet. Oh my God. Between the texting, the tweeting, the masturbation, my hand is so tired, I can't even pick it up anymore. I have carpal tunnel syndrome, and I don't even know what that means. Well, this is show number 2, and I'm lucky I got here. If you remember how we got off the air last week, show number 1, my esteemed producers didn't feed me. What can I expect? They call me Howie Spira. You would think if it's the Howie Spira Show, they would not call me Howie Spira. Well, forget the food aspect. On top of that, this great esteemed trio was supposed to provide a car service. Between them, they couldn't come up with a tricycle and a skateboard. So how did I get here this morning from the Upper Bronx to Midtown Manhattan? The 4 train. Any one of you who knows what the 4 train is, it's a reality show. So, on Woodlawn, I get on the 4 train as the one white guy. At least 100 people initially in the car early on a Monday morning. Heavy-set African-American girl. That's a fancy word for black. 275 pounds. Easy. Talking on her phone at a volume that you can't imagine, sitting next to her friend. This is what I wake up to Monday morning. Oh my God. I was speaking to my cousin, and my cousin said that Tyrone loved me. And then I seen that hoe on the corner talking to him. Oh my God. Look at that white guy up in my business with them big eyes. So as soon as she says white, the whole car looks at me. I'm like, what do you want me to do? She said, excuse me, can you please turn your neck? I said, honey, I have arthritis in my neck. She's like, oh my God, Rashida, oh, white motherfucker got the virus. We're going to die right here on the 4 train. So she gets off her phone and she says, look, cracker, just remember one thing. Once you go black, you never go back. And everyone is staring at me. I'm like, but once you go white, you do see the light. She's like, oh no. She's gyrating. You never saw fat like Jello before gyrating. Oh no. Oh no. I don't want no dim little 60-watt bulb. I want me a chandelier. Do you have a chandelier? Honey, I'm old and white. I'm lucky if I have a flashlight. Well, they're roaring on the 4 train. They're having the time of their life. So she gets off and she says, yo, let me tell you something, motherfucker. I'm going to see you again. Help him, Jesus. I'm going to my program. That's how I start my day on the 4 train. I can't thank my producers enough for the car service. So she gets off the train. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can rest. I already have a headache. I'm like a magnet, like radar for these imbeciles. Then a lady comes on, preaching. You don't know what preaching is till you're on the 4 train. She's got her book, not a Bible, it just looks like a regular book. She's like, Jesus and the devil said you're going straight to hell, especially the white guy in the corner. I'm like, nobody would believe this. They can't make this up. But now I'm already annoyed from the 300-pound black girl. So I'm like, excuse me, and everybody's looking, and I keep saying it. She ignores me. Finally, she looks at me and she says, what? I said, do Jesus and the devil give refunds? She's like, what? I said, I just bought a $50 Metro card and I'm Jewish. If Jesus and the devil said I'm going straight to hell, they owe me $47.50. The black lady said to me, I should have bought me a popcorn and a Big Gulp because this white motherfucker is hilarious. I'm going to pee on my drawers. Now we got a show. This is what I had to do at 9 o'clock this morning coming to Manhattan. I can't thank my producers enough for the banquet and the car service. It's not exactly steak and a limousine. You're talking about McDonald's and a cab. Garbage of society, the San Francisco 49ers. Personal foul after personal foul. Chop of the knees. Hit in the head. Headbutt in the head. Late hit. Again and again and again. I thought they were showing replays. It was like 5 to 8 penalties in a 10-play span. Some weren't accepted. Again and again and again and again. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I grew up in the ghetto. In the ghetto, they don't act like the San Francisco 49ers did yesterday. The San Francisco 49ers are what's wrong with the NFL, and they're what's wrong with society. They're just not human beings. They're disgusting, vile creatures who happen to be somebody who's talented enough to play football. We usually start the show with me telling you who I am and this and that. Well, this is more important. I got breaking news in the middle of the night about my favorite person, fucking Geno Smith. First of all, he's not even a football player. He can't score a point. What did he get, 27 yards? I can pick a 12-year-old out of the schoolyard to throw for 27 yards. That's the most ridiculous thing in the world. He tells a fan, fuck you, because the fan told him, fuck you. Well, that's the smartest fan in New York. But follow this. The Jets played San Diego yesterday. Well, supposedly, the Jets still haven't shown up in the 31-0 loss. And San Diego was gentlemen. They could have put 50 without even trying. Follow me on this now. Saturday night, the Jets had a team meeting. Geno Smith, the leader of the team, he didn't show up. He went to the movies in between the afternoon meeting and the night meeting. He showed up for the night meeting 10 minutes after it concluded. But listen to why. This is the leader of your football team, the guy who calls plays and changes audibles and this and that. Because he didn't know the difference, he got confused between the difference between New York time and West Coast time. He can't even tell time. The quarterback of a New York football team cannot tell time. And you want to know why the Jets are 1-4 and why I hate this motherfucker? He can't even tell time. He doesn't know what coast he's on. New York, California. Are you kidding me? If the Jets were a real organization, not a toilet bowl, they would never let him play another down for the football Jets. Never, ever. We'll be back. Listen, we're going to be back. I'm not through with Geno Smith. We'll be back after these messages. What is wrong with this country? Everybody wants to be in the United States of America. We're free. The director of the Secret Service resigned last week. Why? Because a guy jumped fences, went over here, better moves than any New York Jet, got into the West Wing of the White House, and if President Obama would have been home, he would have been a room away. We'll get to that in a minute. A separate incident, there was an armed gunman in the elevator with President Obama. This is the difference between this country and other countries. In other countries, first they would take out the guy's eyes. Then they would chop off his hands, and then they would first get angry. Here, you have to have a meeting, you have to have an evaluation, you have to have a prayer, you got to call Al Sharpton. What the fuck? The guy who's the commander-in-chief, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, every weapon in America can't even be protected. So the fat woman, she resigns. Resigns? What kind of country is this? You don't protect the president? How are you going to protect the citizens? Ridiculous. Nobody roots harder for the New York Giants than I do. Nobody loves Eli Manning more than I do. Maybe his wife. 2 Super Bowl championships, 8 of the greatest games ever, culminating with the 2 wins over the Patriots. But listen, you come to the line of scrimmage. He looks to the left. He looked to the right. He looked behind him. He prayed a little. Then he pointed over here. Then he pointed over here. He looks at the 40-second clock. 2-1, timeout. That happened twice. Okay, they weren't playing a real team yesterday in Atlanta. When they go to Philly on Sunday and a week from Sunday play the Cowboys, You don't do that. Get up to the center, put your fucking hands on the guy's ass, and take the fucking ball. How hard is it? Really? He's not like, it's not computer science, and he's not his brother. Take the ball on the first count and snap it. Why do the Giants keep getting false starts? Because together they can't count to three, these big fat animals. Take the ball and just take it. Snap it, run the play. That's it. It must have been a slow news week last week. The front and back page of the New York Daily News and the Post said Prince Abracadabra, Kamara, whatever the fuck he is, the defensive guy for the Giants, he lost his virginity. He lost his fucking virginity. A 25-year-old black guy, most of them fuck when they're 12, he lost his virginity. It's on the back page of the Post. Were Adrian Peterson and Ray Rice taking a nap? This is what they use? It goes from beating a girl, beating a kid, to getting fucked as a 25-year-old man. What is wrong? The mentality around these people. I don't understand it. Absolutely ludicrous. Here's the difference between real football teams and the New York Jets. The New England Patriots were bombed and badgered and thrown dirt on all week. They were dead. They had Tom Brady out of New England already. They had the kid on standby, the rookie quarterback. So they came out last night on national television against the only undefeated team left in the National Football League, the Cincinnati Bengals, who people have them going to the Super Bowl. Boom, 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 like old times. 7-0, 14-0, 14-3, 21. I mean, like the Patriots, they blew them out. I don't know, the 38-17 or something. That's when you have your backs against the wall. You come out like men, and you show what you have. With their backs against the wall in San Diego. It's 30 hours later. The Jets still haven't scored. They barely got a first down. Ridiculous! So then you see on social media that all these geniuses who play in the NFL, well, my daddy took me behind the shed and he beat me with a switch. And back then I was beaten. Listen carefully. The combined IQ of the football players who said this was less than the tree that the branch was taken off of. In addition to that, you can tweet me, you can Facebook me, you can link me, log on, fuck up, I don't give a shit. By the time these geniuses find their piece of construction paper and their crayons, they'll forget what they wanted to write anyway. So Adrian Peterson comes out and says, well, I was just disciplining my child. Disciplining your child, you motherfucker. You beat a 4-year-old kid with a branch from a tree? Why don't you take that branch and hit a 300-pound defensive lineman and watch him break your fucking neck? What kind of garbage are you? What kind of piece of shit are you? And by the way, not to digress, where's the mother in all this? I haven't heard her come forward once. He beat my child. This is very simple. People say, well, justice, prosecutors will take care of it. Anybody who believes in justice and prosecutors in New York or in this country is an idiot. Prosecutors are some of the worst people on earth. It's all political. It's financial. They do what they want when it suits them best. The same prosecutor who's gonna prosecute some gorgeous prostitute is the first one who hits on her in the lobby when his wife is not looking. This is very simple with Adrian Peterson. This is easy, but I haven't heard anyone say it. If they take the hand that Adrian Peterson beat the kid with and they chop it off, I guarantee you he'll think twice before he does it a second time with the other hand. The point being, they could have started off 2-0. Very few teams are 2-0 now. Most of them are 1-1, except for the Giants. We'll get there in a minute. I mean, it would have set up the season. They play next Monday night at home against Chicago.
Let me ask you something. So you're saying they beat themselves or
they stink. They can't play football and they're fucking stupid. That's a hell of a combination. Perfect. The coaches are stupid. The players are stupid. And Geno Smith playing out sucks. Get rid of him. Cut him.
All right. So the Jets stink and the Giants stink.
No, just a minute. Wait a minute. So the Jets are 1-1, and I heard people last night, esteemed broadcasters, say, "Okay, they lost the game in September. That makes that I couldn't sleep last night. Between the sleep apnea, I can't sleep anyway, and the insomnia.
Right, right.
Plus, you call me and you bother me 11:30 at night. But the thing is that what I don't understand, how is it, as we sit here this morning, the New York Yankees and the Jets and the Giants all have 14 games left to play. The difference is the Yankees are going to play it in 14 days, and the Jets and Giants are going to play it over the next 15 weeks.
Right.
So people are like, well, they'll win down the road. It's still 16 games. It's 1 out of 16. It's 6.25% each game. Nobody understands that. 12.5% of the season. Yeah. 1/8 of the season has already been played. And people don't get it because the average football fan is stupid. They sit in the parking lot slaughtering a pig or whatever it is they do, and they drink and they tailgate and this. Who goes to a football game to eat? We'll go to a restaurant. Why do you got to go to a parking lot and eat like an animal? I never understood that anyway.